Hello, everyone. My name's Abby Brandstetter. I'm a freshman at MSU this year. I am a fisheries and wildlife and agriculture, food, and natural resources education major. And I also have the environmental studies and sustainability minor. I work at the Honors College, so if you have any questions about that, you can ask me any questions you have. And then I'm also going to be one of the learning assistants for NSC 192 in the fall. And I'm also going to be the recruitment coordinator for RISE. So if any of you join the recruitment team, I'll be there as well. So today we're going to be talking about how to go about choosing a major. So this topic can get really stressful for people just because some people have been told their whole lives what they're good at or what they should go into just because it's going to get them a good job, things like that. And what we really try to do your first semester at MSU and NSC 192, we just try to get you to realize that this is your education that you're getting. It's not anyone else's. And no matter what people are telling you should go into, it's really important to figure it out on your own and do things that interest you and don't interest your parents or whoever's telling you what you need to be doing with your life. So just some general tips about choosing a major. So you're going to want to take a lot of intro level classes your first couple of semesters just in fields that interest you. So there's like Fisheries and Wildlife 101, which is just an intro class, and the lab is an intro as well. And those are amazing classes. The professors that teach them are incredible. I would definitely suggest those if you're interested in anything related to fisheries and wildlife. And there's also intro to sustainability, intro to animal science, intro to nutrition, things like that. So any of those, if they interest you, they're great classes that you should try to take just to get an overview of the different majors that you might go into. And then those will typically tell you whether or not you want to continue on that path. And then I also linked the Schedule Builder website, which there's a whole nother video telling you how to do everything with that. But if you just go there and you search all of these classes, they'll all be there for the fall and the spring. So just look through those and try to figure out something that might interest you. And then along with that, taking university requirements in your first year is also a good idea, just to get them out of the way, first of all. And if you're not super sure about what you want to do, it's a good way to have more time to explore your options while still getting credits in that you're going to need to graduate with. So just mix your schedule with some intro and some requirement classes, and you'll be good to go for your first couple semesters. And then also, it's a good idea to try to figure out what college you want to go into before you try to figure out your major right away. So all the colleges have prereqs for different classes and just general requirements that are going to be the same for every major in that college. So it's a good idea to figure out your college so that you're taking classes that you know you're actually going to need to graduate. So for example, like I went into AOP prep thinking I wanted to be in Nat Sci, and then Lori told me that it was all science, all math, all the time, and I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. And College of Ag is more experience-based and more outdoors, so that's what I decided I wanted to do. So choosing your college is very important as well. And then also looking at the classes that are required to get the major rather than the title of the major is important, because the classes will give you more of an idea about what the major is actually all about and what you're actually going to be doing with it in the future. So that's something important rather than just looking at the title and thinking it sounds good. So who you should go and see, Lori and all the advisors are incredibly helpful. My first couple weeks here, I went and saw Lori and an education advisor and a fisheries and wildlife advisor and a pre-vet advisor. And within those first couple of weeks, after talking to all of them, I knew exactly what I wanted to do and exactly what I did not want to do. So it's very helpful. Just go talk to people. They're not scary. Just make an appointment. Don't be afraid to. I linked the MSU EAB website, which is where you make all of your advising appointments, and you can go talk to anyone you need to. So I definitely suggest doing that. And if you're in the Honors College, don't be afraid to make an appointment with Honors College advisors as well, because they are super helpful and amazing, and they will help you figure out your substitutions or whatever you might need help with. And there are also career advisors in every college. So those are people who can kind of tell you what kind of job you might be able to get in the future and things like that. So they're really important to see, as well as their undecided advisors in Brody in the engagement center. So if you really don't know what you want to do and you just need to talk to someone about that, there are advisors for people who do not have a major quite yet. And then also just ask your professors questions after class or during their office hours. Just see what their career is all about and how they got to the position that they are in now, just because they are people who have a lot of experience in a field that you might be interested in. So they're really good people to talk to as well. Where to go? So the Career Services Building is an amazing resource. I'm not going to talk about it too much because we're going to have a whole nother video about it, but it's an incredible place that's extremely underutilized on campus. They have peer advisors there that can talk to you and give you whatever resources you need. They help with cover letters and resumes and everything you need. So I also linked their website on here, and then they have a whole page dedicated to choosing a major and choosing a career. So that's something to utilize as well. Handshake is an app and a website that you can use to find jobs around campus. And they have like lab jobs and things like that. So that's a good place to look at just so that you can get like kind of an idea of what kind of careers are out there, things like that. And then Marathon of Majors is really important as well. They have it a few times per semester at the Union. So they have high school students that come as well as college students, and all of the majors that you can have at MSU are represented there with just students that are in the major, advisors, professors, things like that. They have lots of resources for you. It's just a way to kind of explore your options and hear from people who are actually going through the program at that time. So that's really a good idea as well. So what you can do, clubs are really cool. Like I am in the Fisheries and Wildlife Club and the Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources Education Club. So if you're not quite sure if you really want to dedicate to a major quite yet, you can join the club for that major instead. A lot of majors also have a club that add up to them. So I would just suggest joining clubs that interest you. And then if you think that you want to continue your education in that area as well, then you can choose your major based on that. Don't lock yourself into a major. Don't be afraid to change your mind just because you've spent a year or 2 years taking classes for one major. If it's making you miserable and you really don't like it, don't be afraid to change your mind and do something that actually makes you happy. Also, do not think that just because you're going to college and you're getting a degree means that you automatically get a job. In today's world, everything is super competitive, and it's important to do something that you really enjoy doing and something that you can be passionate about for the rest of your life, rather than majoring in something that people have told you that you're going to get a job in. So that's really important as well. Also, add minors that you think sound interesting. There's the Environmental Studies and Sustainability minor. There are a lot of different minors that you can add just like if you're interested in something but you don't necessarily want to have a whole nother major in it. They're very marketable when you're looking for jobs as well, and you can just find things that interest you and you really want to be a part of, but maybe not like as like a major kind of thing. So minors are really great as well. So that's what I have for you guys for how to choose your major. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact us, contact Heather, Lori, contact myself or Kier, anyone. We will be happy to help you. So thank you for listening.